everybody I wanted to make a statement. I told everybody I was going to steal the show this Saturday, and I think I did that. You know what I mean? There's a great card from top to bottom. You know what I mean? And Anthony Yarde came in there. He came to go to war. But I told him this is Mostro's world. Nobody can mess with me. So I'm really happy. I'm really excited with everything. And I'm happy that Turkey Al-Sheikh invited me out here to get a fight with Riyadh season. And I'm definitely looking to come back here and fight with Riyadh season ring card in the future.
David, FightHype.com here. Congratulations first and foremost. Would you look at Bivol next to try and be undisputed, or is the rumours true that Ramirez could be a possibility in 226? Which one would you prefer to look at?
So I wanted to fight Bivol for this fight. I was the #1 contender to fight for the WBC title. That's why I have the WBC title, because he relinquished it and he wasn't ready to fight. But that's the fight that I've been wanting to get. You know, I want to make my dreams come true of becoming a unified world champion. And I don't know what's going on over there. You know, I don't know. He said that he wanted to take the fight with Benavitez again, and then they said that he had surgery. So I mean, I really don't know what's going on over there. And I don't want to wait for nobody anymore. You know, I mean, I waited for Canelo. That fight never happened. You know, now I'm waiting for Bivol. That fight's not happening. So I want to achieve greatness, and I have an opportunity to go up to fight for 2 titles at cruiserweight. And I said, let's get it. You know, so we're going to go up there. We're going to fight Sugar Ramirez May 2nd.
Is there a possibility of win there? Fight the Australian Joel Pataya?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to prove myself. Everybody always says that I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm ducking this person, I'm ducking that person. When I go in there and get the victory, it's always the same thing. You know what I mean? I just want to prove myself as a fighter. This is what I'm here for. You know, I'm here to prove the doubters wrong and to go in there and win as much titles as I can. And I want to be like the greats of this sport. I want to be in the same conversation as Usyk, Terrence Crawford, all those guys. And I still have a long time. I'm 28 years old, and I just want to achieve greatness.
Congratulations, mate. You're a great champion.
Radio Ryan down here in the front. You mentioned going up yet another weight division. We just saw Terrence Crawford really have his defining fight against Canelo this late in his career. Are you concerned that if you are not getting the fights at the divisions and getting the titles that you want, that your greatness will be delayed? You won't have an opportunity to show how great you are in the sport by the time you retire.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't want to waste no more time. You know, if you look at the fighters from back then, the fighters of old, at 28, all of them were all accomplished. Oscar De La Hoya, Marco Antonio Barrera, they were multiple champions at multiple weights, multiple divisions. So I just want to follow that. You know what I mean? And like I said, if I could get an opportunity, why am I gonna not take it? You know what I mean? I didn't get the opportunity at 168. Now I'm not getting the opportunity at 175. So you know, like, I hear a lot of people talking, saying this and that, but I'm not waiting for nobody no more. I'm making my own lane, and I'm gonna achieve my greatness one way or another.
Are you comfortable going up and down? If you get the fight at 75 and then Bivol becomes available, would you come back down to 68?
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. You know what I mean? I want to be double champ. I want to be champ at both weight classes. I haven't seen, well, I mean, Terrence Crawford's doing that right now. I mean, I don't know how much other people are doing that, but like I said, I want to be in the same conversation with those guys, but I definitely will come down at 175 and take a fight with those guys if it's available.
And the last one from me, about tonight's fight. It looked from the outside anyway, like there wasn't much on Yarde's punches. Can you talk about his power, and was it frustrating? It looked like you may have been a little bit frustrated trying to get the knockout earlier.
I mean, I was working behind my jab. I didn't feel no power, to be honest with you, and I don't really feel power from anybody. I think I have a good chin. You know what I mean? I think it's safe to say that I have a good chin. You know, we do the workouts necessary to strengthen up our neck and our chin and all that. So I have a good chin. I seen an opportunity for the overhand right, and I was trying to go for that too early. And then I kind of caught myself. I said, you know what, let's go back to the jab. And then once I started going back to the jab, I established the jab in the first couple rounds, and I tried to get the knockout in the 4th, 5th. And then when I went back to the jab on the last late 5th round, 6, 7, that's when everything started opening up more. So, you know, I just let it go. Once I heard him, you know, with the jab, I started opening up more, and you know, I busted up his nose, and I seen the opportunity. I said, all right, let's go for it.
Thank you.
Hey, David. Oh, here, man. Joe Crawford, who gonna catch these hands? I got 2 for you. The first one is, in your mind, why do you think the fights that you want, you don't get? Especially, you know, since the timing is right and You know, like Raheem said, you're in the prime of your career. Like, why do you think you're not getting these fights?
Because people, it's an easy answer. People, the fighters know that this is the hardest fight on the table. They know that David Benavitez works extremely hard. You know, I don't cut no corners. I take my training really serious. I train 4 or 5 months. It's been very apparent that every good fighter I go up against, I outclass him. You know what I mean? And Canelo, Bivol, and Benavitez, I mean, they all know that, you know, this is an extremely hard fight. I mean, I sparred with Bivol. You know, I sparred him. He knows me. I know him. You know, he knows what I could do, and I know what he could do. So he knows that this is not an easy fight. They can say whatever they want to say, but if it was an easy fight, people would have been took this fight with me. People would have been took me out. People would have been shut me out. But they know it's not that easy. So, I mean, I'm 100% confident in myself. And, you know, at the end of the day, this is boxing. Nothing is 100%. Nothing, you know, nothing is guaranteed. But this is why I work so hard. You know, every fight is a 50-50. And I believe in myself. I believe in my skills. I believe in my chin. And I believe I will prevail against anybody who gets put in that ring with me.
And last one for me. As a fighter, you know, you got a lot of support, right? But what does it mean to you, you know, to have your dad here, your brother, your wife, your kids, you know, all here ringside watching you accomplish your dreams and do what you love to like? What does that mean to you as a fighter?
Pushes me to the next level. It makes me go that much more harder, and that's why I like having my family here every time I go to war, because I see them before I come out, and I can't fail. You know, it's easy to let yourself down, but I'm not gonna let my family down. And that's why I go so hard every single day, and in the fight. You know, once I have them there present with me, there's no stopping me.
David, congratulations over here, mate. Congratulations on the win tonight. You look spiteful in there tonight. Really good performance. Was Anthony Yarde tougher than you expected in there?
No, I didn't go in there expecting him to not be tough, because he's top 5 light heavyweight in the rankings. So I knew it was going to be hard. You know what I mean? I knew just by looking at his past fights with Kovalev and Benavitez that he's a durable guy and he has power. So for me, you know, I know I'm strong. I know I could go in there and brawl with him, but I had to work behind my jab. And as soon as I established the jab and started opening everything up, but he's a tough fighter. You know, he didn't want to go down. You know, even when, you know, I had him hurt in one of the rounds, you know, he came back with a hard shot. You know what I mean? Kind of caught me with a nice little shot. So I'm like, okay, let me reset again. But he was everything I expected him to do.
Definitely, and I spoke to Abel Sanchez at the beginning of the week, and he reflected on a 15-year-old David Benavitez, Gennady Golovkin. I mean, it's a long time ago now, but how do you reflect on the journey from yourself at 15 sparring Golovkin to, I mean, a two-weight world champion now?
It's been a long, long journey. That was my amateur career. I only have 15 amateur fights, and my amateur career was sparring world champions since I was 14 years old. And I give Gennady Golovkin all the credit he deserves, because he's the reason why I'm the fighter I am today. Because when I would spar him in there, you know, those were not sparring sessions, they were real fights. And he'd push me to the level, so I'd have to find different ways to block, to get out the way, because, you know, he was punching with everything. So he made me learn more and push my IQ up, you know, just to be in there with them, you know what I mean? And I learned a lot with them, so yeah, I give him all the credit. You know, I'm the fighter I am today because of those sparring sessions I had with him. I sparred him from 15 until 19 years old. The last time I sparred him is when he fought Daniel Jacobs. So I learned a lot from that guy. So, you know, hats off to Gennady Golovkin. He's a great man. He's a great champion in and outside the ring, and, you know, I owe him a lot. Thank you.
David, just out here. Congrats on the win. There was a nice moment at the end of the fight between you and Anthony, kind of embraced. Are you able to say what you two said to each other?
I just told him that I love him. He's a warrior, and thank you for the fight. You know, this is the thing that I feel like other young fighters could, you know, they could learn from this. You know, it doesn't always have to be bad blood. Obviously, in the ring is different. You go to war, but after you guys go to war, you guys can embrace each other. And you guys can be brothers after. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes the sport of boxing so special. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I think it was like the round 5, round 6. I told him, like, you want her to go to war, you want her to shoot out, right? This is what you want. And he's like, huh? You know, he's bloody, he's bloody. You know what I mean? But I mean, I told everybody, you know, people don't think I'm like that. You know, I showed I'm really like that.
Yeah, and obviously you mentioned there how brave and tough Anthony is. Would you like to see him carry on fighting?
It's up to him. That's not an answer. A question I can answer. It's up to him. he took a lot of punishment tonight. You know what I mean? He took a lot of punishment, and at the end of the day, he's been in there 3 times with 3 different world champions, and he takes a lot of punishment. He has a lot of heart, but you know, it's up to him. If he wants to come back, you know, that's the answer. You have to a question you have to ask him.
Hi, it's Aisha from Green Diamond Boxing. Benavitez, huge congratulations and well done on your win today. I absolutely loved seeing you with your family, your son and daughter coming as well. It's so nice to see them. You have said that you want to make your children into world champions as well. And you've also mentioned about some trauma that you had when you were doing your own training growing up. How are you going to change that in terms of still making your kids great, but being able to remove that side of the training?
I'm not. It's either they go through it or not. At the end of the day, this is not a game. You know what I mean? This is not being in there, knocking people out or stopping people, really trying to hurt them is not something you can teach. You know what I mean? You have to be like that. You have to go through this certain type of stuff. You have to be running at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, crying, saying when I get in there in the ring, I'm gonna beat somebody up because you know of the pain you feel. This is, you know, this life is not for everybody. You know what I mean? I've told everybody that I put my kids through that same training. You know what I mean? Obviously, if they want to go through with it or not, it's their choice. But if I don't put them through the same training and they go in a fight with a fighter like Anthony Yarde, David Moroni, those people, they could get hurt. I'd rather them getting hurt training than them getting hurt in that ring. You know what I mean? That's just the brutal honesty of the sport. You know, sometimes people get knocked out, and I don't know. There's just something you can't teach. You just have to go through it, and your spirit has to really feel that and become a warrior on its own.
Great. Do you want to finish up with anything?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for attending this event, and you know, David put on a show. You know, somebody was sitting behind me, and they said, you know, David doesn't look like he has a lot of power at 175, and I told him, I said, listen, he's just getting started right now. I said he's going to chip away and chip away and chip away until there's nothing left. And towards the end, there was nothing left of Anthony Yarde. There was nothing left. And, you know, when he went down the first time, I said, he's done. I was like, the fight is done. I thought his corner was going to pull him out. They sent him back out, and, you know, it would have just gotten worse, a lot worse, if the referee didn't step in there. And, you know, David's got a lot of options out there, whether it's Ramirez, Bivol, Beterbiev. You know, his dad knows, you know, you beat, no matter how many guys you beat, there's always going to be somebody else. Or Opataya. You know, there's a lot of options that he has, and 2026 looks bright, and we hope to have David back at another Ring Riyadh season card. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.